Oh, my son will be amazed.
He will be amazed.
This guest unveils a pair of decoys with a rich history. These decoys, once belonging to a neighbor who had passed away, found their way into the hands of the guest through an estate sale. As the spotlight shifted to the decoys themselves, their remarkable detail came into focus.
These are about the best decoys that I have seen.
It was revealed that they had been cherished since 1943, a testament to their enduring legacy. The guest shared that these decoys were attributed to none other than Charles Perdue, a celebrated carver hailing from Illinois. Born in 1874 in Henry, Illinois, Perdue's craftsmanship was renowned, particularly along the banks of the Illinois River where he carved these very decoys. Interestingly, his wife, Edna, lent her artistic touch to the pieces, showcasing her talent in painting alongside his carving expertise. The hen and drake mallards stood as an exquisite example of Perdue's skill, with lifelike features and meticulous craftsmanship. Despite their age, they remained in pristine condition, having never graced the waters but instead served as cherished decorations in their previous owner's home. The appraiser, impressed by the quality and provenance of the decoys, shared an estimated valuation between
$10,000 and $20,000.
Oh, my son will be amazed.
He will be amazed.
Oh, you're kidding. My mother's gonna die. Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Wow, that's wonderful.
More than just a piece of furniture, this piece is a stunning representation of the Gothic revival movement.
One of the primary things that we do when to find out where a table was made is we look for secondary woods.
Octagonal in shape, it reflects the architectural elements of the 12th century Gothic style, which experienced a resurgence in the 19th century. This piece was crafted from rosewood with burl insets and features intricate Gothic elements on its legs. The tabletop is a masterpiece of marquetry, with a thistle motif that suggests a Scottish origin or English design for the Scottish market. Additionally, the table's color was achieved through dyed wood, with the marquetry technique used to create intricate designs. The craftsmanship and rarity of this piece make it highly sought after, especially among sophisticated individuals or clergy who appreciate its Christian-inspired symbolism. This exceptional table, with its historical significance and exquisite craftsmanship, adds to its intrigue and would be worth
$15,000 to $25,000.
Oh, you're kidding. My mother's gonna die. Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Oh, really? I'm surprised. I had no idea. Of course, it's not for sale. We display it.
Presented on the show are an old photograph, an old student watch, and some vintage papers belonging to the guest's father, who attended Elgin Watch College in 1922, where he obtained his degree in 1925. The paper is a certificate certifying that the guest's father indeed graduated from the college. Alongside the paper with the blueprint of the watch, we have an old watch made by the guest's father.
That's the number he put on it. He also put the date, and then he wrote his initials.
Another item showcased is a photograph of the guest's father and the basketball team from Elgin College. Flipping the watch over, we can see the intricately made parts and mechanism. Also visible are the date and the guest's father's initials. It's not often that we find items this old, laden with history, and also this well preserved. It's no surprise these pieces would be valued at auction to be
$1,500 to $2,000.
Oh, really? I'm surprised. I had no idea. Of course, it's not for sale. We display it.
The guest brings in a captivating portrait, shrouded in a bit of mystery. He reveals the portrait is a cherished family heirloom, likely depicting their great-great-grandfather born in 1785. The appraiser admires the painting style, characteristic of the late 18th century folk portraiture.
It has all of the elements that characterize, I think, great folk portraiture.
It depicts the sitter, a young boy with a captivating gaze, who holds a wild rose and wears a curious necklace. However, the artists of this beautiful painting remain a puzzle.
He's holding, looks like a wild rose, and is wearing a little necklace. Now, this is a little bit of a mystery.
This painting boasts an overall matte typical of the era. The meticulous lettering of the inscription on the back hints at the artist's possible background as a sign painter. Recent cleaning and restoration ensure the portrait's longevity while preserving the crucial inscription. The appraiser notes the replaced stretcher as a necessary measure to conserve the artwork. Taking into account the painting's charm, historical significance, and excellent condition, he confidently estimates its value at
$30,000 to $50,000 without hesitation.
Our guest shares that their great-great-great-grandmother won the item for $1 in a raffle. This item represents the California Missions, which are the oldest structures in California, established by Spanish priests, spanning from San Diego to Sonoma. Stylistically, the piece would date from around 1920. The appraiser estimates the value of this sideboard at
Probably at $3,000 to $5,000, but realize that there is some upward potential to the right buyer.
This treasure table was passed down through the guest's family from Abbeville, Louisiana, located in the heart of Cajun country. The guest's cousin's grandfather, Grandpa Moss, is believed to have worked on the table in the courthouse in the early 19th century. The table eventually came into the guest's possession after being stored in their father's barn for many years. Made of cypress wood, a rarity in furniture from that region, the table had a unique charm, despite its weathered appearance.
Well, it is an extraordinary piece, a very rare piece of Louisiana furniture.
Despite some signs of wear, such as paint marks from its days as a makeshift storage surface. The table's construction and design revealed its French influence and historical significance. The appraiser noted its rarity and estimated its value at auction to be between
$3,000 to $5,000 range.
A paint holder.
No.
Posters are large sheets of paper with history and art depicted on them. During a discussion, it was revealed that an Art Deco picture, initially believed to be an antique, was actually crafted in the 1980s. It was described as reminiscent of the Great Gatsby era, featuring stylish elements like martini glasses and fancy angles. Although it wasn't genuinely old, its visual appeal remained impressive. The picture is totally fake, but it looks really good. It includes things like martini glasses, monocles, and red lips, and the angles are all fancy. If you take it out of the frame, you'll see it's stuck on linen. The inclusion of a forged 1928 date raised doubts about its authenticity. Consequently, dealers approach it cautiously, aware of its deceptive origins. This incident underscores the importance of transparency in the art market. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
between $700 and $1,000.
Holy books, cherished and revered, are believed to be gifts from God. The guest brought a very old and tiny book. They mentioned it had belonged to their great-great-grandpa, who was a rabbi. They didn't know much more about it except that their dad always kept it locked up, and they weren't allowed to touch it when they were kids. It's an exceptional condition. This Hebrew Bible from the mid-19th century is truly beautiful. The appraiser noted that it was in really good condition and had extremely small writing. Even though the guest tried to touch it a lot when they were young, they couldn't. The appraiser explained that making such a tiny book was really hard, and people have always been interested in seeing how small they can make books, especially with important texts like religious ones. They discovered that the book was likely made in the 1840s to 1850s in Poland, despite the family living in Russia. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
Approximately $1,000.
The guest stumbled upon this clock while inquiring about pocket watches in an old jewelry store. The jeweler initially hesitated to sell any watches, but eventually noticed the guest's interest in the clock hanging on the wall. The clock served as a historical artifact and represented a transition period around the 1880s when standardized time zones began to emerge. The presence of both clocks, one indicating local time and the other standard time, made the piece truly remarkable. The clock's significance and rarity contributed to an estimated replacement value of
about $7,500.
Great, that's wonderful.
These are not some magical ritual chalices from an ancient king's court. Instead, they came from guests' relatives in Columbia, South Carolina, who frequented auctions in Highland, North Carolina. Look how each piece is just magnificently beautiful. These magnificent pieces are Bohemian glass, also known as Moser, which originated around 1857.
Moser was the glass of kings and the king of glass.
There are 72 pristine pieces of Bohemian glass, likely from the turn of the century, and the guest had
Finger bowl and underplate, a Rhine wine, a red wine, a champagne, and a liqueur.
Each piece boasted thick 24-karat gold leafing. Despite their exquisite beauty, they have remained untouched. The appraiser suggested that this set could fetch
$1,200 to $1,500 just in these few pieces. Your set of 72 pieces would be in the range of $15,000 to $18,000.
Wow.
a small drawing by Wanton Blake brings big smiles.
That pen and ink line, the spontaneity of it, those huge smiling faces.
Yeah.
How did it come to be yours?
Our guest found it during an office cleanup. It can be recognized as Blake's work even without a signature. Blake disclosed that the drawing was for a contraception leaflet, initially featuring a naked couple, later dressed to comply with censorship. His bold pen and ink style is evident, with white paint enhancing the details. The striped swimming trunks further add to the artwork's appeal. Blake's talent lies in captivating expressions with minimal strokes, where even simple dots can radiate joy through the eyes. The drawing, once overlooked, now holds significant value.
£1,000 to £1,500.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Meet these quirky walking staffs, doubled as defenders, designed for bonking people on the head. Their unique faces are impressive to ignore. They've been in the owner's family for generations. Surprisingly, these staffs have glass eyes and are considered incredible folk art. These staffs exude a distinctly British vibe, possibly of Welsh origin, crafted from fruit wood around 1850. Though they could be even older, one of them is missing a piece.
This one has lost a lump there. I reckon that missing piece is embedded in someone's skull right now.
They exude charm with their humor and impeccable craftsmanship. But beware, the price tag might come as a shock.
About £400 each, that's $800 for the pair.
Yeah, well, it's better than being under the bed, isn't it?
No way. Yeah. $65,000?
Yeah, it's a very, very...
No wonder I've been nervous wearing it.
Yeah, you should...
I should be nervous.
This elegant piece of jewelry would always be the center of attraction. The elegant ring was gifted to the guest by her parents about 15 years ago, weighing about 4 carats. Face up, this stone looks larger than it actually looks because the bottom of the stone has lesser volume than the face.
Because there isn't as much volume at the bottom of the diamond. Mm-hmm.
It is very neatly cut and it reflects light in a unique way. This stone is dated around 1920 to 1930. However, the stone's setting is dated around 1950s. This piece is a very high-grade stone, VVS2 on the grading levels. With all the superb qualities of this diamond piece, it doesn't come as a surprise that it is valued at auction to be around
About $65,000.
No way.
Yeah.
$65,000?
Yeah, it's a very, very...
No wonder I've been nervous wearing it.
Yeah, you should...
I should be nervous.
This masterpiece of craftsmanship and design embodies both practicality and beauty. The guest purchased it at an estate sale.
We just like the shape and the form, and it just us look very beautiful.
This extraordinary piece dates back to the early 18th century and was made in southeastern Pennsylvania. Early furniture of this William and Mary style is rare today and highly sought after. It has many desirable features, like the dovetailed construction, which is fairly thick. Typical of Pennsylvania construction, it's nice and heavy with 2 drawers.
You can see some of the secondary woods here. Sides and back are oak, and this is poplar, which is also typical of
I wasn't sure,
Pennsylvania region.
Suspected
this
that.
Nice sort of striped, sort of green color to it.
What's special about this piece is the feet, which are turned and pegged into the bottom. Considering the pristine condition of this piece, it is valued at
$10,000 and $15,000.
15?
That's right.
Much more we ever expected.
Today on the show, we showcase an elegant vintage steam clock, epitomizing the grace of a bygone era. Our guest inherited this masterpiece from her father. This clock, known as the French industrial clock, boasts a simple design and mechanism. Atop the clock sits its engine comprised of a flywheel and a governor, ensuring a stable and seamless mechanism. Additionally, the clock's base is crafted from brass, with marble underneath. However, the clock's dial requires restoration due to damage, and the barometer also shows signs of wear, necessitating repair. Fascinatingly, this clock dates back to around 1885, making it a rare find. With restoration, its value would skyrocket, but even in its current condition, it remains a highly valuable item. A clock of this age is seldom encountered, and its value at auction would likely be substantial, estimated at
$3,000 to $4,000.
Wow. Wow.
This unassuming letter holds the potential to rewrite history by finally crediting Woodbury with capturing the iconic photograph of the Gettysburg Address. David Woodbury worked under Matthew Brady and was given credit as a photographer in the war. Despite its significance, the identity of the photographer had remained an enigma for years. The guest's letter, however, provided compelling evidence, written by Woodbury himself. The letter documented his presence at Gettysburg on the 19th of November, 1863, along with Anthony Berger, another photographer associated with Matthew Brady's studio. The letter further mentioned taking pictures of the crowd in procession, strongly suggesting Woodbury's role in capturing the historic event. The potential impact of the letter extended beyond monetary value. The true worth of this item resides in its historical significance. However, the monetary value of the letter itself was estimated at a conservative
$10,000 to $15,000.
Okay.
with a reasonable increase to $15,000 to $25,000 over the past couple of years. The guest brought in a beautiful, yet mysterious, Chinese rose medallion bowl. She acquired the piece 10 years ago, but still lacks knowledge about the bowl's origin. The bowl is a Chinese rose medallion bowl, a style specifically designed for Western markets like America and England. While the interior featured traditional Chinese motifs like birds and figures, the overall design catered to Western perceptions of Chinese culture. The bowl's origin dates to around 1820, originating from Canton, China. Originally a simple bowl, it was fitted with brass mounts in the 1920s, converting it to a jardiniere, a decorative planter. This alteration, while not part of the original design, actually enhanced the bowl's value. While the lack of information about the bowl's history limited its potential worth, its estimated replacement value is
$3,000 on it.
The guest brought in 3 intriguing items from Papua New Guinea: a baby carrier, a yam mask, and another basket of unknown purpose. The guest had acquired these items in Australia in 1975. It was identified as a baby carrier traditionally used to transport infants in the jungles of Papua New Guinea. The yam mask, explained by the guest, played a role in the harvest ritual.
When during a harvest season, they put this mask on top of a yam potato.
Villagers would symbolically defeat the yam as an enemy, enacting a dance and chant before discarding the mask and consuming the yam. The guest's recollection of missionaries collecting these masks attributed to a period of increased contact between Papua New Guinea and the outside world in the 1930s. These items served as tangible representations of the traditions and rituals practiced by the Albellum tribe of Papua New Guinea. The true value of these items reside in their cultural heritage, however. The value of each item is around $250, potentially reaching
$750 to $900 for all of it. But they're just truly incredible.
Wow, that's great. That's exciting.
This artifact, imbued with history and a personal connection, held significant value beyond its monetary worth. This fascinating historical document is a signed Abraham Lincoln presidential pardon. The guest's ancestor, a topographical engineer and friend of Abraham Lincoln, had acquired the document, but the exact circumstances remained unclear. The document itself was a presidential pardon granted by Lincoln in 1861 to a prisoner named Charles de Villiers. The pardon cited de Villiers' good behavior and lack of prior offenses as reason for his release after serving only 6 months of an 18-month sentence. Written in secretarial hand with Lincoln's bold signature and the Secretary of State's witness signature, the document stood as a testament to a real moment in American history. However, the true value of the document transcended its monetary worth, which is estimated to be
$12,000 to $15,000.
Wow, that's great. That's exciting.
This alluring carved bronze figure truly looks stunning. The guest acquired it at an antique shop. At the bottom of this item, we can see it signed J.M. Boyribbon.
It is signed on the bottom of the plateau.
And this piece is dated 1911. The craftsmanship of its carver is very evident, looking at how intricately this piece was made. This bronze figure depicts a woman kneeling with a deer behind her. A piece like this is highly sought after by collectors. It's such a beautifully crafted bronze figure, it's little wonder it would sell at auction for
Between $15,000 and $20,000. It's a fantastic buy. You're more than welcome.
Wow. Oh, you made me get goosebumps.
The guest brought in a prized possession, a Murano glass sculpture they affectionately called Evelyn. While the guest lacked knowledge about the piece's origin, the item is rich in history and value. The guest's father named it Evelyn, playfully comparing it to the guest's mother's appearance. The sculpture is the work of Paolo Vanini, a renowned Italian glassmaker from Murano, Italy. The specific piece was likely designed by Fulvio Bianconi. This attribution significantly increased the value of the sculpture, as Vanini and Bianconi are well-respected figures in the world of glass art. The sculpture has a whimsical detail in the design. The sculpture could be seen as resembling a cat with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a pulled feather design. The guest's father had purchased the sculpture for a mere $50 in 1962. A remarkable investment considering the piece's current estimated value of
$8,000 to $10,000. Wow. Oh, you made me get goosebumps.
The guest brought in a cherished family heirloom, a doll passed down through generations from her great-grandmother. Despite the guest's limited knowledge about the doll, it was identified as a rare and valuable piece. The doll is a Simon Halbig character doll, a category depicting children with realistic features. The doll's unique characteristic was its mold number 160, which is incredibly rare and increases the doll's value. Further examination revealed a collaboration between 2 doll makers, Heinrich Handwerk, who crafted the doll's body, and Simon Halbig, who created the head. The doll's composition body and repainted hands hinted at its age and potential restoration history. Even the doll's wig and dress, potentially replacements from a later era, added to the story of the doll's life and journey through time. The doll held not only monetary value but also sentimental significance for the guest. It represented a cherished connection to her great-grandmother and grandmother, and at auction, it would fetch about
probably $4,000 to $5,000.
Wow.
The guest brought in a treasure trove of memorabilia from his father, a trainer for the gold medal-winning 1956 U.S. Olympic basketball team. These items, more than just collectibles, served as tangible links to a significant moment in both basketball history and the guest's family history. The centerpiece of the collection is a pristine autographed basketball. The original photograph documented the triumphant 1956 U.S. Olympic basketball team, including the guest's father standing proudly among the players. The original scorebook from the games provided a unique window into the statistics and performance of the dominant U.S. team. Each inscription within the scorebook held the potential to tell a story about a particular game, a close call, or a decisive victory. The guest's father's participation medal, though unassuming, served as a tangible recognition of his contribution to the team's success. Despite its age, the ball remained in exceptional condition, with clear, unfaded signatures from legendary players like Bill Russell and Casey Jones. Bill Russell's signature is particularly rare due to his general reluctance to sign autographs, making this basketball a truly unique piece. This exceptional condition, coupled with the historical significance of the autographs and the 1956 gold medal win, placed this item at an auction value of, after a recent appraisal, the collection is now valued at
$8,000 to $10,000.
Wow, that's a pretty good price.
In a world of fleeting trends, this timeless vase never goes out of style. Inherited from his father, this guest showcases an exhibition vase and its accompanying case. Upon observing the inside of the case, there's a Sèvres marking, indicating that it was produced by the Sèvres Company in France. Although most items with this marking aren't authentic, this piece, however, is indeed authentic.
Sèvres marks are all guilty until proven innocent, meaning 99% of everything that has a Sèvres mark was not made by the Sèvres factory. But this is indeed an authentic piece of Sèvres.
This piece is beautifully handcrafted with a variety of colors. At the bottom is the company's signature and the year it was made. Furthermore, at the front of the case is a brass plaque inscribed with some interesting information. An item in such perfect condition, along with its intact case, is a rarity and would be valued at auction around
between $2,000 and $3,000.
Okay.
Presented on the show are a vintage cigar box and an antique letter, both encapsulating a piece of history. They belong to the guest's father, who was an official United States of America photographer and a sergeant in the United States Army. The guest's father was also gifted, as a token of appreciation, this vintage cigar box by Louis Mountbatten. He was a British statesman, naval leader, and the last Viceroy of India. The letter is from Southeast Asia Command Headquarters, which was run by Mountbatten. Also, set on the display table is also a framed photograph of a painting, also gifted to guest's father by Mountbatten. All these items received by the guest's father as a compensation not only connects us to the past, but also serves as a reminder of timeless stories, emotions, and at auction, these items would be valued at around
$1,000 to $1,500 on it. Yeah, it's a great grouping of stuff. Really is. Really is.
This piece brought by the guest is truly timeless. The desk belonged to the guest's mother. It dates back to the Chippendale style, made during the late 18th century. The writing desk, with its significant history, most likely carries important papers and even money in its locked compartments. Interestingly, the desk features original poplar wood, which has oxidized over time. Also, it has a unique lopper mechanism to hold up items. The top is made of highly figured plum pudding mahogany.
There would have been 3 little drawers back there. Now there's 1 left.
Despite some replaced brasses and carved pieces, its value at auction is estimated to be
The value at auction would be $2,000 to $3,000 in this market. That would be the estimate.
This set of vintage chairs whispers tales of its own rich past. Belonging to the guest's family, they comprise 6 chairs, though only 2 were presented on the show. Examining the back rail of these chairs reveals that they've suffered some damage from Hurricane Katrina. This set is known as Chippendale mahogany dining chairs, crafted on the North Shore of Massachusetts. The chair's crest boasts a handsome serpentine design, while the top rail features flaring molded ears. The trapezoidal seats rest gracefully on cabriolet legs. This set was crafted between 1760 and 1780.
They were likely made between about 1760 and 1780.
Considering their age of over 200 years, some wear is to be expected. Yet this particular set is in good condition. Their value at auction would be
$1,000 to $2,000.
Okay.
This garment, adorned with shimmering metal motifs, is not merely clothing. It is a cultural artifact that envelops you in the mystique of centuries past. Known as an Egyptian Asuit shawl, it was showcased by our guest, who purchased it at a textile antique store in London. Originating from Egypt in the 1920s, it is crafted from silver metal, carefully darned and affixed onto a cotton net. Adorning the shawl are rows of motifs including figural rose, and stylized trees. At auction, this intriguing garment, steeped in history, would undoubtedly command significant value of
a retail value of $950.
Oh, wow.
What we have here is a remarkable piece the guest bought at a yard sale. This album showcases a collection of watercolor and gouache paintings, primarily depicting flowers and fruits. What sets this album apart is its connection to Rufus A. Grider, an artist and art teacher from Mohawk Valley, New York, known for his historical contributions to the region. The album contains not only botanical studies, but also landscapes and even personal inscriptions, such as one addressed to a school teacher.
Victorian times, late 19th century, is common for people to do these books or albums of studies of botanicals. It was a popular hobby.
Quite fascinating, the standout piece is a charming depiction of a child in a rocker with a dog, which is considered an icon of folk art. Grider's work, while not widely recognized during his lifetime, is now highly valued for its historical and artistic significance. Overall, this piece is a treasure trove of artistic and historical value, with an estimated value of
I really think that together it might be as much as $20,000 to $30,000.
What?
Here's a vase presented by the guest. This piece was made by the extraordinary pair Otto and Gertrude, who were two of the premier mid-century potters in America. Together, they created groundbreaking ceramic art, exemplified by their futuristic designs.
In mid-century American, mid-century decorative arts, and this form, which is extremely futuristic, think what's happening in the 50s, is really quite beautiful.
This vase, acquired by the guest in 1957 during an exhibition in Los Angeles, showcases the artist's innovative style. It features an organic form with a unique orange and brown volcanic layered glaze, a signature of Otto's magical glaze formulas. Vases by the Natzlers are rare, with bowls being more common in their work, which makes this piece one of a kind that's highly valued at
$6,000 to $9,000.
Wait, what did you just say?
$6,000 to $9,000.
Wow.
Yeah, very special piece.
Purchased by our guest at a small-town consignment auction for $50 along with another print, these two porcelain plaques were later discovered to be marked with KPM, Königliche Porzellan Manufaktur, on the back. KPM, a royal porcelain manufacturer in Berlin, Germany, produced these plaques, which are typically dated around 1890 to 1900, and
it's night and day when you see a KPM plaque versus when you see any of the other secondary artist design plaques that were made in Germany and Austria.
The plaques are examples of the artist's designs copied from old master paintings, with one depicting Christopher Columbus and the other featuring the Cupid and Psyche object. Despite their different subjects, both plaques are valued similarly in today's market, with each porcelain plaque estimated to be worth between
$3,000 to $5,000.
Wow.
The one on the right at auction would be worth about the same.
Okay.
The owner's great-grandfather's medals were brought out at a dinner party by their grandmother, but one of the medals mysteriously disappeared after that. The appraiser identifies the medals, including the Military Cross and Bar, the 1914-15 Star, the British War Medal, Victory Medal, known as the Trio.
Then you have this wonderful thing on the end, and this is the Russian Order of St. Anne.
The missing medal is the Order of St. Stanislaw. The great-grandfather likely earned these medals for his service on the Western Front and in Russia, fighting against the Bolshevik armies. The appraiser values the Military Cross at
That's £3,500.
the Order of St. Anne at
£5,000.
and estimates the missing Order of Stanislaus at
It's also £5,000.
Oh my goodness.
totaling £15,000 for the group. Ronnie Archivorgan recounts a memorable encounter on the Antiques Roadshow in Castle Howard in 2017, where he came across puppets that stirred childhood memories. The puppets belong to Harry Corbett, known for the Sooty Show.
Because my father was in a children's home, in a national children's home.
Really?
And then Harry met him when they were working.
Got all goosebumps.
Ronnie recalls meeting Harry Corbett at a children's home in Southport in 1955, where he had the privilege of playing with Sooty, one of the puppets. Despite being a year older than him, Sooty holds a special place in Ronnie's heart, representing his fondest childhood memory.
Because he had many, and he did give them away.
Yes,
I know that.
yeah.
Ronnie tries on the Sooty puppet on the show, reflecting on the possibility that it might be the same one he played with as a child. The appraiser values each puppet at
They're worth about £200 to £250 each.
estimating the total value of Ronnie's collection at
It's $1,250,
And another one at home.
$1,500.
Goodness me.